Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. One thing that I definitely want to do better in 2023 is take better care of my ballistic gel. I ordered gel from Clear Ballistics. I paid for it with my own money, not sponsored or anything, but I definitely used this well beyond its max for, providing accurate results. I started doing some 308s at the end and they were kind of just blowing right through, and I think it was because they were so well used. I bought the mold from Clear Ballistics. It's 6x7x16, gives you a little extra so it doesn't overflow. And then I got some restaurant pans from Amazon. There's two of them here, and the volume of these pans exceeds the volume of the block, length by width by height. I think this is like 1020 cubic inches. So this is like 1200 cubic inches. Yeah, it's a half pan. That's 4 inches deep. So plenty of space. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this up. I already started the oven at 270 per Clear Ballistics instructions. We're gonna cut it up, put it into these two pans, see where that gets us, and then pour it into this one. I just wanted to make this video for my own reference that I can go back to it in the future. So without further ado, let's chop it up. So I just sliced it for starters, and it actually sliced pretty easily with this Gerber. Pretty sharp knife, pretty heavy duty. But as you can see right there, there's a frag in there. I already got some out, but I'm gonna cut this even smaller into probably 1-inch cubes and really go by piece so that I can get all the frags out. So I started out cutting them, but I wound up just starting to rip them because it just was faster. Pulled out a bunch of fragments. I still have about, I'd say that that's about from a half to 2/3 of the total block. I'm gonna put this in the oven while I break that down and add it as that melts. So 270, let's put it in. In the oven, 270. We'll check it in about 30 minutes and see what the progress is. 30 minutes, definitely melted quite a bit, more than I thought. So we're gonna add some to this and check it again in 30 minutes. This is the 1 hour mark. It didn't look all too different from the 30-minute mark, so I already added the rest of the gel in there. It's still a little firm. It's not super viscous. It's still fairly thick. And we're gonna give it another 30 minutes, see where we're at, and then pour it into the gel. Might have to give it another 30 minutes after that. We will check back in 30 minutes. Pretty well melted. I'm pretty encouraged. That's the 90 minutes. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time, mainly because we're not only cooking gel, but we're cooking tacos. If you wanna see my taco recipe, let me know down below. But for right now, we're gonna let this go a little bit longer until some of those chunks are gone, but overall, pretty happy. Okay, 1 hour and 45 minutes. I am going to take it out and dump it into the mold that's right there. But I'm not gonna do it on camera because that's super hot and I don't wanna burn myself. So we'll pick it up in just a second. Looks pretty ugly. I got most of it in. I tried scooping it out, but it wasn't working that well. I'm gonna let it cool, this one too, and then I'll just peel it out because it's already like cool to the touch, like the stuff that spilled on the outside, because this pan wasn't in the oven, just those were. So like some dripped over there and I was able to get it up quickly. I'm gonna put this in the oven, let it smooth out for a couple minutes, then let that cool a little bit more, peel that out, throw that on top, do the final bake, and it'll be done. We're probably about 1 hour 50 into this project so far. The gel has been cooking. I started this video at about 1:30 in the afternoon with that intro that you saw, and it is currently 10 after 6 in the evening. The gel was cooking for about 2 hours until it was completely melted. And I was reading the instructions on how to remelt it, and it said they would take 1 to 4 hours, and mine took about 2 hours, and I thought, oh, I'll be done. No, I was wrong. So when you go down a little bit further, it says molding the gel. So melting the gel and then molding the gel, and that can take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to get all the bubbles out. And I am in the molding phase right now, and I'm just gonna let it cook for a couple more hours. The bubbles are just about done. Most of them have raised to the top, but I'm gonna give it a couple more hours and then just shut the oven off and let it cool overnight, because I have to go back to work tomorrow. Today's Monday when I'm recording this. I don't know when this video is gonna come out, but I'll just let it cool overnight and then take it out tomorrow. But for you, it's gonna be but just a few seconds. So we're gonna pick it up tomorrow after it's cooled, and we'll see how it does. 5:50 a.m. This has had a chance to cool for 12 hours. Still a little warm, but looks pretty good. Here's a better look at it. There are just some bubbles on the top, which I have heard will just come out with a hair dryer or something. So maybe we'll do that, but if it's just on the bottom, just flip it upside down. So we'll get this thing out and take another look at it. I've heard that this is the really difficult part, and that's getting the gel out of the block, out of the mold. So that took a hot minute to get it out, but overall pretty pleased. So it took about 2 hours to melt, and then 2 hours to kind of mold, and then I let it sit overnight for 12 hours or so. It was still mildly warm in the morning. It came out pretty easily once I was able to get some air underneath, once I was able to separate it from the bottom. Need to do a better job of getting all the fragments out. There's just one big one. The rest are pretty darn small, but there was one projectile that I must have used that I did use that was really dirty and left a dirty wound channel. I don't remember which one it was, but the other gel that I have is even worse. That's why I wanted to mold this one first. But overall, you can see it's cloudy. You can see there are bubbles on this side, but this is going to wind up being down. The sides are nice, and the sides are really nice and straight. No real marks there. So overall, really pleased with melting this down and remolding it. Definitely going to have to stay up on it and not let it go so long between melts. I'm probably going to have to get another 2 blocks or so that I don't have to rush to remelt them. I can kind of use one in its entirety and then melt that one down whenever I get a chance while I'm using block number 2 to block number 3. That way I always have a fresh block. So probably wind up getting some more next time I see them on sale. Hey, that's it for this one. Like and subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. We're going to get to testing some more projectiles here soon. We'll see you in the next video.